Hey Tim, USCCA CEO. Bunch of years of school and somehow a former rodeo cowboy is taking you to school in regards to doing the right thing. Imagine that. That video that you put out in regards to the public outrage with USCCA, you should have watched it and trashed it. It did nothing but hurt you. And what's going to hurt you even more is calling out my integrity and my associates over at Attorneys on Retainer, because once you call out a man's integrity, you should expect no mercy. So let me start with this. No one in the 2A community respects a panicky, desperate attempt at damage control. And that's all that video was. You gave no relevant information to the issue at hand, and then you threw in an advertisement in the middle of it. Now, what people do respect is accountability. A man owning his business and saying, you know what, this was not correct. We're going to do everything in our power to make it right. But no, you just continue on the path that you're on, and now it's came to bite you in the ass. So Tim, you called us a bunch of names. I'm not going to stoop down to that petty level, but I am going to use what you said when it's relevant in this video. Let's get down to brass tacks here, Tim. You and your business have refused to answer the one question that everybody wants the answer to. And we already have it, but it's just sad that you couldn't just come out and say it. And that question is, why did Alan Colie have a public defender instead of a USCCA paid attorney per his benefits from the time he was arrested all the way up until the end of his trial and sentencing hearing? Question was not answered in that whole little video that you did. But you had no problem talking about an open investigation in regards to what's happening with Alan Colie's appeal. So we're all clear that they openly talked about what's going on with Alan Colie and that it's an open investigation, and they have no problem commenting on that. But when it comes to people asking, well, what happened before the appeal? Why didn't he have a USCCA paid attorney? Oh, okay. So you can comment on an open investigation when it comes to what you guys are doing for him now, but you can't comment on it in terms of why he wasn't provided some of his benefits during his trial. Let's look at what Alan Colie actually got. And if you're a current USCCA member, because Alan Colie was completely covered all the way through, this is what you should expect if you're arrested for self-defense with a gun. It's documented by the courts that he had a public defender from the time he was arrested, at his bail hearing, at his trial, and at his sentencing hearing. That's fact. And Tim, who pays for a public defender? That's right, not USCCA. The people. Tax dollars. They're appointed by the court, not by an insurance company. And then after all of that, you guys got him an appellate attorney. So if you're a current USCCA member, that's what you should expect. You're not going to get a paid attorney to fight for you a trial from USCCA. You have to use a public defender, okay? Because he was covered the whole time, never dropped, got all of his benefits. You know what the advantage is of having a paid attorney versus a public defender in a judge's eyes? During your bail hearing, if you have a paid attorney, you have skin in the game. The judge is going to look at that and say, well, you're less likely to run because you've shelled out money. But when it's a public defender at the bail hearing, you didn't pay for it. So who knows? Maybe if USCCA did give him an attorney, like his membership benefits said it would, maybe he wouldn't have been in jail for 8 months. But we'll never know. Maybe he would have gotten a not guilty verdict on both of the charges. But we'll never know because he had a public defender. Are people starting to get the picture here? All right, Tim, let's talk about some truth from USCCA. I imagine your customer service has been working day and night using a copy and paste template as far as what to tell people that are outraged. And people have randomly been sending me conversations that they've been having with you guys and what you guys have been posting all over Twitter. And it looks like one of them accidentally told the truth. Let's take a look. Great question. From my understanding, when the incident happened, contact was attempted between USCIC several times to Mr. Colie, but there was no answer on their end, thus leading to a delay. But it is public record that he called you guys. So what you're saying is that it took you guys 8 months to help Alan Colie. He was in jail for 8 months. Right. Does that sound like he was covered the entire time? Does that sound like he wasn't denied benefits? I appreciate you guys being honest, though, that he indeed was not given a paid attorney until after the trial. I'm confused how you guys were not able to get in contact with him, though. And then they go into, I hear you, like I said, the investigation is still ongoing. So now that it is a fact that he was not given all of his benefits, due to USCCA not being able to be in contact with him, even though you can schedule a call with someone at a jail. So at this point, let me give you some advice, Tim. Just be honest. I will be the first one to tip my cap to you and say, you know what? Good job. Your coverage still sucks, but good job. Why hide? You're insulting the entire 2A community's intelligence. Like, you think people can't connect two dots? Well, I signed an agreement that said that I would be represented by a USCCA in-network attorney when I'm arrested and at my trial, but Alan Colie had a public defender. But no, he was covered. You think people can't figure this out? But like I said, instead of just addressing the issue and clearing it up for everyone and having a little bit of integrity behind it, you go after me and my associates and attorneys on retainer, and you question our integrity.